Hello, and feel free to enter the wonderful realm of heavenly album covers, which is one of the nicest and most pleasant and cordial and welcoming YouTube channels in all of history. This is Heavenly Album Covers. Today we are going to look at a couple of really nice Petula Clark albums, but I've been showing books recently just to pad out these episodes. Some of these episodes that we are doing right now are very short. So here's a book by Mark Spitz, probably not the swimmer, Mark Spitz and Brendan Mullen. Brendan Mullen was a mover and a shaker in the LA punk and new wave scene back in the 1930s, I think, leading up to the 1970s and 80s. And this book is called We Got the Neutron Bomb, named after a Weirdos song, a famous Weirdos song. And I saw the Weirdos once, and they were all dressed up in bondage outfits, and they were great. And this is a book that contains all sorts of interviews with people like the Go-Go's, the Runaways, the Germs, Black Flag, and beyond. And it is actually signed by Brendan Mullen. I don't know when or where he signed this, but it's a signed book by Brendan Mullen. It has some pictures here, and very interesting if you're into music and things that are related to music. And here are the Germs. And so that's a really good book. I think I read this about 4 years ago. It's a real quick read, really light and breezy. And here are a couple of albums by Petula Clark. We here at Heavenly Album Covers have never had any Petula Clark albums within our grasp, but yesterday we hit upon a treasure trove of Petula Clark albums. There were at least 10 or 11 Petula Clark albums at this record store in the cheap bin, in the dollar bin, and I was there. I saw all these Petula Clark albums. I couldn't decide which ones to pick up because they were all in really good condition. And I left a bunch there for other record collectors, but I picked out these two because they're right up our Heavenly Album Covers alley. And let's go really quickly through these. And here is an album. It's credited to Pet Clark. Her nickname was Petula Pet. So here is Pet Clark. She's wearing a very mod top here, very fashionable. She has her hands clutched together in a type of defiant prayer. She's looking towards the ground here. She's got great hair. It almost looks photoshopped, but they didn't have Photoshop in the 1960s. And I picked this up because the cover is great, but it also has a whole bunch of really good covers. She does a Beatles song, Rain. She does Monday, Monday by the Mamas and Papas. She does a Simon and Garfunkel song and a Garsong Funkel. And she also does Bang Bang and A Groovy Kind of Love and Strangers in the Night. And it's just a really great kind of orangey sunshine pop cover. Really nice, and it's on Warner Brothers. And the label itself on both of these releases is kind of the bland Warner Brothers label, kind of off gold. This is in mono, so it might be worth a few cents more than the stereo version. And both of these came with this Warner Brothers inner sleeve. And here's the next Pet Clark album. I didn't really know that she almost primarily went by the nickname Pet Clark. It's quite astounding. I always knew her as Petula Clark, but here's an album. Let's take the remainder of the shrink off here. De-shrinking an album is a very special task. You have to put all of your concentration and effort into de-shrinking carefully. Sometimes I like to just put my thumb in there and pull up. It releases the chosen album from its shackles and its plastic jail cell. And here is Pet Clark, also known as Petula Clark. She's hanging out under some trees. Again, she has great hair. It's almost like abstract expressionist hair, very mod, very 1960s. And she also does some really great covers here. And that's one of the reasons I picked this up. Also, because it's a great cover. Both of these album covers have kind of bland, kind of puff pieces of liner notes on the back. But this is Petula Clark ×2. And we're going to go downtown after we wrap this episode up. There she is, Pet Clark. Really astounding record covers. Really great photography and typesetting and layout, which is why we picked these up, because they're great looking.